Hi YouTube, it's Indigo Wendigo, and originally I was going to start this episode with Stanley being right at the beginning of the Insanity slash Mariella ending, but I was getting to it, I was walking to it, and then I noticed something like weird. Look at this, okay? Like, this hall? Let's go back through this little hallway. Stanley, excuse me, sir. There he goes. Alright, so we came through like these two like open office plans, and then go through here, and okay. Do you notice? Are you seeing it? It's just so like subtly different. And what looks like the employee lounge is just this blue tinted area. It's just different. Why is it different? Just to fuck with you. This so much of this game is like just to unsettle you. Just to knock you not entirely off balance, but just a little bit. Maybe 1 foot off balance.
Stanley came to a set of
I'm
two
like,
open
why?
doors, the door on his
Tell me
left.
why. So, there's that little bit of specialness. That sometimes a building is just a little bit subtly different. And like, I feel like I am
Yet
just
there
going to
was
keep
not a
talking
single
about House of
person here
Leaves
either.
over the
Feeling a
course of this
wave
playthrough.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go
Just
up to
the
his boss's
subtle
office.
architectural
Hooked
horror.
down to a staircase,
It's
Stanley
so,
walked
like,
upstairs to his boss's
I
office.
love it. Subtle horror is the best. And like, if you ever talk to me, in real life about horror and scary stuff, you'll figure out pretty quickly that I really do not love just cheap scares, like jump scares, or like gore that doesn't tell a story. For example, like what's a great example of that idea? The Saw movies. Yeah. Like, I've seen all the Saw films. Yeah, I'll admit it. I'll own up to it. I've seen them all. A quick little aside here. Under this staircase, if you've played the game Gone Home, right there, that's a letter from Gone Home. Can't really read it. I think you have to zoom in more, but that's totally what that's from. Yeah. So, yeah, like, I don't like jump scares unless they're super well executed, like in Five Nights at Freddy's, because, if not, it's just like, boo. Oh, I got you. Like, oh, no, you just feel bad.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing
here's
his
the ending.
boss,
Let's go through it,
admitting
shall
he'd
we?
left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Such
All
a
because he
competitive
believed
economy, indeed.
everyone had
Economy?
it.
I just said
His
economy.
boss would think he was
That's not a
crazy.
word.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single
Yeah, I mean, you
moment
gotta question
for
that
no
shit,
reason
dude.
at all.
You gotta question why there's coffee cups all over the floor. That really distresses me. Like, that stain's never coming out.
For example, why
You
couldn't
can
he
shampoo
see
that all
his
day, and
feet
that's still
when he
gonna be
looked
stained.
down? Why did doors
Oh, right,
close
no feet when he looks
automatically
down?
behind him wherever
No
he
feet.
went?
Doors
And for
closing,
that matter,
straight up.
These rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
So this ending, when I first played it, I just had to take a second and just sort of digest it, because whether Galactic Cafe meant it or not, and that's who made the game, Galactic Cafe, I really take this ending to be like a message about mental health, specifically how like healthy people view the mentally ill, and you'll see what I mean.
Co-workers weren't actually gone.
But let's just
He
take a
wasn't
second
going
and
to lose
enjoy.
his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying.
Oh,
and
check this
began
out.
to
I love
gently
this.
float above the ground.
Whoop!
Then
There he goes.
imagined himself
Whee!
soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Ah,
It was
nice.
so much fun, and Stanley marveled.
It's like a Windows
that he had still
95
not woken
screensaver.
up. How
That is
was he
good
remaining
stuff.
so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was
Oh,
amazed
still
he
stars?
hadn't
Oh,
asked
no.
himself sooner.
No,
Why
not
is
stars.
there a
My
voice in
screen's
my
just
head
dirty.
dictating everything
Ooh,
that I'm
boy.
doing and thinking?
Oh, Jude, clean
Now
your
the voice was
screen.
describing itself
Goodness.
being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's
The voice describing
my thoughts.
me, describing it, describing the voice. Like,
And while he thought
so
it
many
all
layers.
very odd, and wondered
I'm a
if
little
this
lost.
voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, This was not a dream.
You know what makes me
How could
uneasy?
it be? Was Stanley
This.
simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep,
I don't love just cars
responsibility for himself?
like this. I think
Stanley
what
is as
what
awake
messed that
right
up for
now
me. I think maybe
as he's
Silent
ever
Hill
been in his
Downpour.
life. Now, hearing
Or
the
maybe
voice
just cars are
speak
scary.
these words was
But
quite
yeah, there's a part in
startling.
Silent Hill Downpour where you go up to like a parked car
He
and you're like,
was certain beyond a doubt
what's in
that
here?
this
And then
was
a
in
dog
fact a dream.
just is like
The dog was
from the
making
inside. It's
magical
just,
stars
ugh.
just a moment ago. How else would the voice explain all that?
And yeah, it
This
goes back to
voice
like
was
how
a
jump
part of
scares are
himself
cheap.
Too. Surely,
And
if he
you
could
know,
just-
Downpour's not
he
great.
would prove it. He would prove that
But
he was in control.
let's not talk about
that
Downpour
this
right now.
was a dream.
We can talk about that later.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake
Closing
up.
his eyes.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress.
I mean, this is how you're supposed to like end a lucid dream, right? Just be like, okay, I am dreaming. I can wake up now.
Wake up,
Everything's
he
fine.
thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
It's sort of a
Please.
like a don't know
It's
what you
all I
got
want.
until it's gone
I want
situation.
my apartment and my
Because it
wife.
sounded like Stanley was
and
getting
my
bored
job.
for a second, but
All I want is my
now that
life
things are getting a little
exactly the
stressful,
way
he's like,
it's
no,
always
I
been.
want the boring life.
My
Give me the boring
is
life.
Normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Everything's fine.
I am okay.
I don't know about that, bruh.
Stanley began screaming. Please,
And running.
someone wake me up.
He's
My
running
name is
too.
Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
And there he goes. He's down. He is down. For the
This
count.
is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted
So,
by the body of a man.
This
who
is extremely
stumbled through
interesting.
town talking and screaming to
Also,
himself,
look at the
then
top of
collapsed
her
dead on
head.
the sidewalk.
Does that look like a hatch? Like, I don't think that's like on purpose. It's just like a model glitch, but it looks like her head is a hatch. Is she a robot?
This much she knew.
Stanley a
Everyone
robot?
knows what
Are we all
crazy
robots?
people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
Okay, that's
I
important.
am
Like,
sane.
I am sane.
In control
I
of
am
my
normal.
mind.
How nice to be
I
normal.
know
That's
what
important.
is
I'm going to
real
talk about that in a
and what
second.
isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect
A meeting
her career,
scheduled
and by
probably
extension,
at the same
the
company
rest of her
Stanley
life.
works for.
She had
So
no
then it's
time
like,
for this.
oh,
So it
cool,
was
is she just
only
gonna be in
a
the same
moment that she
situation?
stood there, staring down at the body.
I don't know. Who
And then
knows?
she
Not me.
turned and ran.
I kind of wish that they had her actually like turn and run, but I don't get to have that. Oh well. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description to my blog post I wrote about this, but it looks to me that like once you go down the staircase and trigger that ending, that Stanley is in the middle of a very intense breakdown that he can't handle, deviating from like the routines of his life. Oh cool, we have another message. Nice. So he thinks he like puts himself in the looping office just because that's what he knows and what he's comfortable with, but really he's running around in reality. He's running around outside and then falls face down in the dirt, as they say. Let's see what this message is. Oh, what's that?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you.
Oh.
You know, there's a few things I need you to
I've
pick
heard
up
that
on your
already.
way home from work today.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Need milk.
Yeah, the message was the one we already heard before, with that person who sounds like they probably are Stanley's girlfriend or wife. So yeah, you don't need to hear that twice. You heard it already. And so that's all today. A bit of a shorter episode today, because life things. And until next time, stay hydrated, sleep well, and don't eat your friends. Okay, bye.